official. This beautiful harbour will be the backdrop to the Sydney Marathon, which has been announced as the 7th Abbotts World Marathon Major. The Sydney Marathon organisers have ticked every box to the satisfaction of the Abbotts World Marathon Major hierarchy and will join the global series on August 31, 2025. The Sydney organisers have gone through a stringent process over the past 3 years, and just like running, they have put in the hard work and can now reap the rewards. G'day guys, how's it going? Look, huge credit to Sydney for pulling this off. The first Southern Hemisphere race to be included in this global series. It's great news for runners in this part of the world because for so long, runners have had to travel vast distances across the other side of the world to take part in the Abbotts World Marathon Majors. Now we've got one here right in our own backyard, and personally, I think it's bloody fantastic and long overdue. Will I be throwing an entry in for 2025? Bloody oath I will be. But I'll talk a little bit more about the entries later in this video. As you know, there are 6 races in the Abbotts World Marathon Majors, and they're all Northern Hemisphere based. Adding Sydney now makes this a truly global series. Over the last few years, ever since it's been raised that there may be some more marathons included into the global series, I have read a number of online forums, especially from runners in the Northern Hemisphere who haven't been real keen about Sydney or other Southern Hemisphere races being included as part of the Abbotts World Marathon Majors. And look, I get it completely. It's a long way to travel from the other side of the world. It's time consuming, it's expensive. Runners from Australia and our neighbouring countries have been doing it for years, travelling to the other side of the world to take part in the 6 marathon majors: London, Chicago, Berlin, New York, Boston and Tokyo, just to tick off a marathon major. I did it in 2014 when I travelled to Boston. It's a huge exercise to travel to the other side of the world. It's expensive, it's difficult, it's time consuming, but it's a lot more than just the race. But you get to experience and enjoy new adventures in a different country. Hopefully those runners in the Northern Hemisphere will see the experiences that can be had down under here in Australia and will support the Sydney Marathon just as enthusiastically as they do for the other current 6 Abbotts World Marathon Majors. The Sydney Marathon has grown incredibly over the past few years, ever since the decision was made to chase Abbotts World Marathon Major status. This year alone, there was 25,000 entries, and next year, the projection is from organisers that there will be 33,000 runners. And I've read that this is going to mean an extra $73 million injected into the economy over the next 3 years, with a projection of somewhere in the vicinity of 300 million over the next 10 years. Staggering numbers. And Sydney gaining this status, it's more than about the marathon race. It's incredibly important for tourism and all the associated businesses that come with that. I have run events in Sydney in the past, but not the marathon. I'm hoping I will be one of the lucky ones to get that opportunity in 2025. So, how are entries going to work? We all know how difficult it is to get a spot in one of these World Marathon Majors. It's incredibly difficult to get drawn out of the ballot. It's incredibly difficult to achieve a qualifying time. And unfortunately, I don't think Sydney's going to be any different. However, if you have taken part in the Sydney Marathon over the past 3 years, then you are included in what's called a candidacy, I can't say this word, guys, candidacy, I'll put it up here. It's a club that will give you early entry to the Sydney Marathon 2025. From what I understand, should receive an email very soon outlining the entry details. For the rest, if you're like me, we have to wait for the general ballot. Now I understand this will be in early December, and just like most of the other World Marathon Majors, it's just going to be potluck, and if your name gets drawn out, then happy days. Now, qualifying times for age groupers, I wasn't able to find anything on the Sydney Marathon website about that. I'm sure as we get closer to the announcement of entries being open, there will be more information about that. But my suggestion would be that you keep a regular eye on the Sydney Marathon website. Here it is here on screen, guys. And you can also join their mailing list. So I would advise you to do that so that you can get all the latest information dropped straight into your email. The Sydney Marathon will be the hilliest major of the 7, something like about 1,000 feet of elevation. So what's that, about 330 odd meters. There was a lot of chatter after the 2023 marathon when I was down in Sydney and Trish ran the half marathon about how hilly the course was. That chatter continued after the 2024 marathon, but so many runners and so many international runners were so complimentary of the course and Sydney's hospitality after 2024. I'm so looking forward to seeing Sydney become a major marathon, a world major marathon. I hope that I'll get an entry to Sydney Marathon 2025, but if not, I hope to be there. It's just going to be so fantastic that we've got a world marathon major right in our own backyard. And finally, there has been a lot of chatter about this online. What's going to happen with the 6-star medal milestone for completing all the current 6 world marathon majors? From my understanding and what I've been reading is that 6-star medal will continue into the future. If you've already got it, fantastic. But if you have been chasing that 6-star, then it's good to know that it's going to continue. I think I saw that if you have completed one of those majors up until New York 2024, which was only just a few days ago, then you can still chase that 6-star medal. But I believe that there will be a new milestone coming as early as 2027, and that will be a 9-star medal. Sounds like there's going to be another 2 world marathon majors added. Cape Town in South Africa and Shanghai in China are going through the same process that Sydney has been through over the past few years. So it looks like that the global series is going to expand and we're going to have 9 world marathon majors very soon. So there it is, Australia, the Southern Hemisphere, finally has its own world marathon major. Congratulations, Sydney, one of the great cities of the world and possibly the greatest harbour city on the planet. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you're planning to throw an entry in for the Sydney Marathon 2025. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.